The historic summit finally happened yesterday. The cherry on top was the joint document produced by the leaders of North Korea and the United States. To thoroughly review the potential impact of the meeting and its outcome, we have Dr. Jeong-yeop of the Sejong Institute joining us once again. Dr. Woo, thank you for making time for us
My
again.
pleasure here.
First of all, I think the most concerning topic was stopping war games.
Yes, it is true that in the past we have suspended the military drills several times. Most recently, South Korea and the U.S. government decided to suspend joint military drills during the Winter Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. But the important part is why we suspended the military drills. So during the Olympic Games, the reason why we suspended the military drill was that South Korean government needs to focus on providing security for the Olympic Games, not because North Korea wanted South Korea and the U.S. to stop the military drills. But this time, the concerning part is that the reason President Trump gave during the press conference why he wanted to stop the joint military drills. First reason he gave us is that the expense, because he believes that U.S. is paying too much and South Korea is not paying enough. But the concerning part is his second reason, that he said that the joint military drill is provocative. Because South Korean government and the U.S. government have said that the joint military drill is the defense in nature. There is no provocation or no aggression in the nature of the military drills. But now President Trump mentioned that the nature of military drill is provocative to the North Korea. That is why he wanted to stop. So I think it caused the controversies from South Korea and within the United States. So there needs to be something clarified by the U.S. government.
Seems to be echoing North Korea's sentiments, their stance on the joint drills. So it's a pause that's justifiable if it happens. But what will be more concerning is that what comes next? Could they be reducing troop presence as the next step?
President Trump mentioned during the press conference that he wanted his soldiers back to the U.S.
Not now, but
not
soon.
now, right. So he had mentioned that thing during the campaign, and he also mentioned that during the press conference. So we don't know yet whether President Trump discussed the reducing the size of the USFK or the withdrawal of the USFK during his meeting with Kim Jong-un. But those issues with regard to the USFK and the joint military drills were mentioned when he answered the question about the security assurance that he can provide to North Korea. So I think that in President Trump's mind, that to give security assurance to the North Korea, maybe he could provide reducing the size of the USFK or even the withdrawal of the USFK, and he starts it by stopping the joint military drills this time.
So it's part of the art of the deal. Now, Trump unilaterally made the decision, something that should require the consent of Seoul. Is this a positive development?
It's not positive from the viewpoint of the South Korean government. As we just talked that President Trump can decide reduce the size of the USFK and even the withdrawal of the USFK, and South Korean government didn't have a veto power on it. And even the U.S. government can unilaterally declare that they are going to end the Korean War without having South Korea participate in the discussion.
Something we look forward to.
Right. So President Trump mentioned that he would hope to declare the end of war while he met Chairman Kim at Singapore, but it did not happen. But when he mentioned that he would do it without South Korean government, South Korean president at present, so I think that South Korean government needs to carefully coordinate with the U.S. government about all these things, because it needs to engage South Korean government to have a political validity.
Right. Are there any other areas that we should keep our eyes peeled for in case Donald Trump might take such unilateral actions again?
I think that he's going to say a lot of things on the defense side in the USFK. Because now he just mentioned the possibility of reducing the size of the USFK, but now he already mentioned that we are going to stop the joint military drills, and even they can discuss the nature of alliance in the future. because now he starts to mention the nature of the USFK and stopping the joint military drills. So we cannot be so sure that the nature of the alliance is going to be on the table. So I think we have to keep an eye on it.
Right. We will have to be kept on our toes. He does blow hot and cold. So what are some of the positive gains we can get from the meeting other than keeping a door open for further communication and dialogue?
President Trump also mentioned this during his press conference that North Korea has not made any provocations since they were engaged in the part of talks with the United States and South Korea for the past 7 months. So he believes that North Korea is not going to do any more provocation, including nuclear test or missile test, while the negotiation is going on between U.S. and North Korea. So I think that's the one good thing, that it actually can slow down the development of WMD programs of North Korea, and also it can lead to the peaceful atmosphere on the Korean Peninsula.
Right, compared to what we've accomplished in the Inter-Korean Summit, and now this is a secondary discussion, how far have we come from that point to here? Are we still somewhere close in terms of opening up doors? We already had a foot in the door, left it ajar for communications during the Inter-Korean Summit.
So that part is very controversial. When South Korean government and the North Korean leader made agreement on April 27th that they share the goal of the complete denuclearization of Korean Peninsula, there was a criticism that it's not concrete enough because it lacked the detailed process of how to achieve the denuclearization of North Korea. But at the time, South Korean government announced that the detailed process of denuclearization of North Korea will be discussed between the U.S. and North Korea in the future. But this time, there was no discussion about how to reach the denuclearization of North Korea. So there was no roadmap provided in the agreement between the United States and North Korea. So the joint statement just say that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un reaffirmed the Panmunjom Declaration of April 27th. He just reaffirmed the firm and unwavering commitment to the complete denuclearization of Korean Peninsula, which is repeated from the Panmunjom Declaration. So I think that there needs to be further negotiation between the United States and North Korea to further develop the process of denuclearization of North Korea.
So far, just a highlight and maybe a circle around the bold word of denuclearization. Now, according to Donald Trump, during his presser, he said Kim Jong-un promised to dismantle another weapons facility. And he says that happened after they struck the deal and signed the agreements. What do you make of that?
So we don't know why then they did not include those kind of things in the document, because Kim Jong-un could say that this is the part of denuclearization process that he's willing to take on his side. But as President Trump mentioned that Chairman Kim just proposed that idea after they signed the agreement. So it sounds a little bit weird. But I think that the reason why Chairman Kim Jong-un proposed that idea to President Trump is that Kim Jong-un did not want any idea of denuclearization of North Korea in the paper. So now he said that it's his good faith. If he does denuclearization, it's not because they made agreement with the United States. It's not because they were under the pressure of the international community in economic side and diplomatic side. So if there is anything happening in North Korea with regard to the denuclearization, it's what Kim Jong-un decides, not because from the international pressure.
What do you anticipate from the North Korean side? The North Korean leader, he has not given an official statement as in his review of the summit so far.
North Korean newspaper just run a story that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has met U.S. President Trump, but it did not mention anything about denuclearization. So it mentioned that President Trump promised to ease the sanctions when the relations between two countries are enhanced. It does not mention that when North Korea is denuclearized, then the international sanction is going to be got off. So now North Korea is hiding the fact that the important factor of the summit is about the denuclearization of North Korea, but it focuses more on the improvement of relations between the United States and North Korea. So I think that it will. We have to wait until the North Korea is officially declaring that they are going to denuclearize themselves.
Curious that they're taking a while to officially release that statement. Now, I'm going to look at a very, I guess, in some way, it's a bit of an exaggeration or an overreaction. It could be on our part. Could there be a Seoul passing on the part of U.S.-North Korea relations now that they seem to have established this strong rapport?
There was an argument in the past that North Korea has not acknowledged South Korea as their counterpart for the discussion. So they only took South Korea as a counterpart when they discussed about inter-Korea relations, not about denuclearization. So this time, I don't know how far North Korea is going to share with the South Korea about their willingness to denuclearize itself. And U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is going to visit today, and he's going to meet President Moon Jae-in tomorrow. Probably he's going to share that what went on between President Trump and Chairman Kim yesterday. So I think that South Korea has to very closely coordinate with both North Korea and the United States not to be passed.
Right, along with President Moon Jae-in, it seems like Mike Pompeo, those two are the ones who oil the cogs so that it keeps on moving smoothly.
Right.
Well, Dr. Jeong-yeop, that's all the time we have for this session. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise today.
Thank you.